Hey guys, what we like to do in this video is show you the iFixit Manta Precision Bit Set. This is regarded by many people as the ultimate precision screwdriver kit. Now, I've not tried every screwdriver kit out there. There's a lot of good sets out there, but I do think that this does live up to its reputation. This is a fantastic set. It has 112 bits and it comes with two drivers. It's got a 4mm driver and a 1/4 inch driver. So this will cover everything from smaller devices such as smartphones all the way up to PCs. So smartphones, laptops, tablets, PCs. But as I will show you in the box here, this also works on cars, on washing machines, on anything. It's just a screwdriver kit. This will work in a lot of different situations. Now, this is a little bit more expensive than others in the market. Here in the UK, you're talking about £51, £52. It's $65 in the USA. But I do think that the extra money that you'll spend on this is warranted. This is a really good piece of kit. And if you're just looking for one screwdriver kit, one that will last you for years, one that will cover every situation, this is probably the kit that you should be looking at. Of course, this kit is not complete. You know, if you're repairing laptops or smartphones, sometimes you'll benefit from some other components out there like suction cups and little scribes to get into things, you know, to open things up and all that. And you don't get anything like that in there. But iFixit do sell those components, they sell those components separately in different kits, so it is available. Over the last few years, I have been using this screwdriver kit. Now, I do have a drawer full of many random screwdrivers and screwdriver kits that I've just picked up over the years when I found I didn't have a screwdriver that I needed for something. But this is the main one I've been using for the last few years. It's basically one of those cheap Chinese ones. It sells for about 10, 15 bucks and you get this whole kit. You get the screwdriver bit set here and you get a lot of different things in here as well, as far as, there's just lots of kind of plastic components for opening up smartphones and laptops. You've got a little, suction cup, and there's just a lot of little things in here. This has been a great buy, so I still do recommend some people go out there and buy something like that. And if your budget cannot stretch to this, then you might want to look at one of the cheaper options. So what I'd like to do in this video is just quickly jump over to the browser, show you what this screwdriver kit is all about, this precision set is all about, just quickly show you the price, etc. And then I'll open it up and show you it. But if you subscribe to my channel, you've probably seen this already because I've owned this for about a month or so. And during my recent laptop upgrades, I did a video about repasting the thermal paste on my gaming laptop. I was using this kit and I used the larger driver and then I switched to the smaller driver and I used a few different bits and it allowed me to get everything out very, very easily. So without further ado, let's jump over to the browser. And you can see the Manta Driver Kit, the universal bit kit for any repair enthusiast, $64.99 in the USA. Now, what you might not know is that this is actually basically a combination of two different iFixit kits. iFixit have got the Mahi, or the Mahi, I don't know how you pronounce it, but they've got this Mahi Driver Kit, 48-bit driver kit, and this is kind of geared or marketed more towards PC enthusiasts, the larger screws. And you can see that most of the bits there are a little bit larger. So you've got that kit, but then you've got the 64-bit Mako Driver Kit, and this one's marketed more for smartphones, tablets, and laptops. Now, if you look at the Manta Driver Kit, this is basically both of those kits in one. The only thing that I can see that's missing is this kind of long bendy driver. This is like an extension that you add to your screwdriver set, and it allows you to bend round and get into lots of different situations. Now, what I will say about that, if I jump over to the main cam again, what I'll say about that is that I've got this one here in my cheap Chinese kit. And the idea is that, you connect it up to this and, you can put in your screw or whatever, and then you can bend around the corner. In practice, this thing is absolutely useless. Now, I'm not saying that the one in the iFixit kit is useless. It might be very good. It might be fantastic. But my experience with this particular kit is that that was not a useful accessory. So when I was looking at buying the Manta kit, I could have just bought the Mako Driver Kit and bought the Mahi Driver Kit because price-wise, they're identical. $65, $35, and $30 instead of the Manta Driver Kit. If you prefer, you can get this kit and then buy that kit. But to me, this was not an accessory that really, I don't mind missing this particular piece of equipment out. It's not something I will miss. And for me, I would rather have everything in one big container. It's just one big screwdriver set. I know what everything is. Just for me, that's what suits me. But bear in mind, if you are looking at the Manta driver kit, you might be better, depending on your usage, you might be better just buying the Mahi driver kit or buying the Mako or buying both of these separately if that suits you. Now, as I was saying, it's about £52 in the UK. That is where I bought it. I bought it from Amazon UK, and in Amazon USA, $64.99. $64.99. That's the price of it over across the pond. So what we'd like to do at this point is open up the box. We'll show you the box first, then open it up. But as I was saying there, I have been using this for a month or so. I basically repackaged this up just so that I can show you guys what you can expect when you buy this. So let's jump over to the overhead camera. Right, so this is the kit here. You can see 112 bits. You've got the 4mm driver here and then the 1/4 inch driver. A little bit strange that they've got 4mm and 1/4 inch, but I guess it makes sense. 1/4 inch is, standard for the larger sizes, at least here in the UK. And you can see here, this will work in drones, cameras, phones, tablets, toys, consoles, smart home, facilities, maintenance, bikes, home appliances, automotive, motorcycle, laptops, desktops, pretty much anything. Let's be honest, this will cover pretty much anything. And you can see what it actually features. This has got everything. It's got everything. You can see the Phillips flathead, Torx, hex, tri-wing, nut driver, square, spanner, triangle. It's got everything. It's got absolutely everything. Now, there is a complete list of this on the website. So if you want to reference that yourself, go to the official sales page and you'll see a list, and you'll see it on Amazon and all that as well. And this will give you a list of, you can see there's the 4mm screwdriver bits, and then there's the 1/4 inch screwdriver bit. So check that out if you want to know more about exactly what is contained inside this kit. So once you take off the little sticker there, you can just slide this off. This is how it comes, and then it slides off like this. And this is the kit. This is it. Now, there's a few things about this I like right off the bat. Now, if I get this open, the first one being that if everything is pushed down here, oh, okay, that fell down, but as you can see, all the screws there stayed there, and that's really good. It means that if you do drop this, everything isn't going to just, get scattered around the room. Now, the other thing is this actual tray. This has been set up so that if you're working on it, you can take your screws and all that, whatever you're taking out, and then just set it here and put different components here. And that is something that is incredibly, incredibly useful. Now, I have a little magnetic tray that I use, but because this is all kind of built into it, I've been gravitating towards using this more because you can just, put all the screws there. Now, for example, if I'm repairing my laptop, I might put the 4 or 5 screws, or the 8 screws it might be actually, I might put those at the back in this little area. And then when I get in, the smaller M2 screws, maybe I'll put them over there. And if there's another screw, I might put them there. Just means that you're not, going to get mixed up as much. It's a little simple thing, but it's nice. It's nice that they do add that. And here we go. This is the kit. So here we've got the 4mm precision set, and the way that it's set up, you can kind of see it just by looking at it, that you've got the larger bits here, the one that's for the what do you call it, the 1/4 inch driver. You can see that this is kind of over this side. It would have been good actually to see like maybe like a little line to show you this one should go for that driver, this one should go for there, but it's definitely not a deal breaker. So there's so many different accessories here, I don't know where to start, but it's just fantastic. Just the way that this works, it spins there, and you just get a lot of kind of torque onto it. It's just so easy to use. Now, this larger one as well, this is just fantastic. I actually love this one. I prefer this one just because it's just a little bit, it's so weighty. It's got a really good grip, and yeah, this is just fantastic to use. Absolutely fantastic to use. It's amazing. Now, I can't go through every single bit that's here, but you can see that there's just a massive collection here. There's very few things here that that I'm missing. Now, if I hold it up, hopefully I can see this in, I can show you this in the camera, but you can see that everything is labeled. Now, if you're putting things back, make sure you push it down so that it is held in here. That it's held in like that. But you can see that everything is labeled. Everything is labeled. And you can see it there. It looks great, doesn't it? So what I want to quickly do is just grab my laptop, and then I'll just, just quickly show you how you would actually use this. So I've got my gaming laptop here, and you can see it here. And this is one of the drivers. I was using both drivers when I was upgrading this laptop. Now, one thing I do want to point out, both of these screwdrivers, these drivers are absolutely amazing, but it is worth pointing out, this larger one does not have a magnetic tip, which is a little bit annoying. I would have assumed that it did have that, but it's not something that it has. The smaller one does, the larger one does not. Now, if I show you here, I just want to show you the motion of actually using this. It's just effortless. It's just effortless. You just hold that and then you can spin it round. You know how screws work. Now, when you get the screw out, it might hold like that. So the screw will hold like this and that's okay. But if you do it like that, well, it's actually holding just out. Normally this will not, you can see it's falling down. Now, this one is not magnetic. Now, I just want to show you in comparison because this smaller one, you can see the magnetism there. It picks up really there and picks up like that. This one, there is a tiny bit there. You can see there's a little bit of a connection, but it's not strong. This one, the magnet is really strong. The larger one, for whatever reason, they've just not put one there. You can see there is a little bit of a magnet there, but it isn't much. But just using this is just a joy to use. Both drivers are, and it's it's someone that uses the other. I've been using the other screwdriver kit for a long time. You do notice the difference when you use this. You just don't have to put a lot of effort into this. It's just, it just works. So if I had to choose which one I prefer, do I prefer the 1/4" driver or the 4mm driver? I don't know. Both of them have their pros and cons. I love both of them. I think both of them are fantastic. This one, it's a little bit smaller, but it's still got that fantastic grip. And all of these bits here, they have that super magnetic tip. So when you're working with a smartphone or even a laptop, there's some really tiny screws in laptops now with the M2 screws. If you're working with those tiny screws, you can pick them up and, there's no problems that this will hold the screw and you can take it away and perhaps put it onto your tray. It's a little bit disappointing in these ones. A little bit, they're not. These bits are not more magnetic. This driver, the associated bits of screws for them, they're not as magnetic. It is something I have to point out, but it's not a deal breaker. And this driver is absolutely fantastic. I can't stress how much I like this because, most of the screwdrivers I've been using over the years are kind of this design. They're light, they do the job, but this thing has got a fantastic grip. It's really weighty, and just because of the sheer size and weight of this, it just makes removing screws effortless. It does all the hard work for you. So yes, overall, I like both of them for different reasons. But overall, the actual kit is just fantastic. It's just fantastic. And as I was saying, there will be people out there that say that, this kit is the best, that kit is the best. I don't think you should really fall into that trap. I think every screwdriver kit does have its strengths and its weaknesses, and there's no kit that does everything. But this gets very, very close to do everything. It's just missing some of those smartphone things, the scribes and, different things like that. But if you're doing that, you might want to lean towards a different kit anyway. As an all-in-one kit, as a kit that does, everything. If you're just looking for one really solid screwdriver kit, one precision bit set, it's very easy to recommend it. And I can see why a lot of people do. I can see why this is so well regarded in the industry. This is used by, a lot of tech engineers, a lot of people, if there's anyone coming to your house to fix your laptop or even to fix a coffee machine or something random like that, there is a good chance they might be using something like this. So yes, £52, $65, it's a lot to spend on a kit like this. I know it is, especially when there are cheaper Chinese kits out there that can do most of the things that most of the things that this can do. But I think that extra money, I do think it's worth it, especially in the long run. Everything is just a little bit more refined. It's a little bit more weighty, and it just makes your life a little bit easier when you're repairing devices. So this is something I can highly recommend, and you will be seeing a lot of this over the years because this is now my go-to screwdriver kit. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you've decided not to buy this, at the very least, hopefully I've helped you make an informed decision. But if you've got any questions about this, please do leave a comment below, and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.